an epic game for the quarterfinals between Liverpool and Manchester United. It ends in 4-3. Manchester United being the victorious side. What an epic game. Today I have Wale on the podcast. He's back. A Liverpool fan. I don't want to ask how he's feeling, but I'll start with the Manchester United fan, Seun. Seun is here on the podcast. And before I bring them on, this is Gold Rush Football Podcast with Larry and Gold Rush Football TV. If you are watching this and you've subscribed, thanks for subscribing, and also thanks for sharing to your loved ones. The feedback we got was very, very good from the last episode. Keep sharing and keep supporting the podcast. Let me bring on the guys. Wale, how you doing?
I'm doing good. It's not a good day to be a Liverpool fan, but I would say we are used to it. You know, we've seen the ups, we've also obviously seen the downs of this game. We understand that you can't win it all, and the thought of a quadruple has not been the Liverpool thing. It's been the press and people. Always, the way they make things up in England, they just want to push you to your limit and
the storylines.
But we as Liverpool fans, we already know what we want. We know our priorities this season. So once we just want to contend on all fronts. But it is what it is. Congratulations to Manchester United for winning. All
right, Seun is here on the podcast. This is the first feature we'll be having on this podcast since last year. So happy New Year to Seun and welcome back to the podcast. You're coming on the day whereby defeating Liverpool in the quarterfinals to get to the semi-finals. How are you feeling?
Perfect timing.
Perfect timing. We'll be hearing more from Seun, but let me bring on Pius. Pius, how you doing? Pius is also on the line. Pius, how far?
Very fine, Larry. And it was an interesting encounter between Manchester United and Liverpool. What a game at Old Trafford. The interesting thing about this win for United fans is not even the fact that they won. Is the fact that they ended Liverpool's quadruple run. The rivalry between those two teams has been quite massive. And if not for anything, Liverpool, Manchester United fans will take this season as the season that they ended Liverpool's quadruple run, the final season of the club. That should be a bragging right for United fans.
Let's get into the game. Liverpool lacked intensity in the last part of the game. Guys, the first half, it was all about Manchester United for the first 20-something minutes. They came out. Manchester United, they went into this game as an underdog. No one expected Manchester United to defeat Liverpool. Let's be serious here. Because going into this game, it was all about Liverpool. The last game which they played in the league, it ended in one of the useless games of the season. 0-0, no goals, and what a boring game. But today, I felt Liverpool have this. Is it overconfidence or is it the fatigue or what really happened today, Wale?
So I think a lot of things played its part. For instance, Liverpool has played more games than Manchester United. So I would say fatigue. Not just that. Not just fatigue. I would also say that this is one of our best seasons. It's pathetic, for Manchester United. I have to say, the rivalry is crazy because we are competing on all fronts, like chasing 4 trophies, and Manchester United is struggling to, win one, which is not even certain, But I'm just, trying to look at it like Manchester United came out gun blazing. They wanted to win the game. That is how to approach any game, even if you're an underdog, and this is our home. But I think Liverpool's complacency, decision-making in the final third really affected them. And I would say some tactical tweak by Jurgen Klopp also affected the game. Nobody knows more than the coach, but I feel sometimes they are human too. They make mistakes. So,
well, to the Manchester United perspective, we saw Anthony giving Manchester United the lifeline coming back to this game. Liverpool were they were on top of this game. They were in the forefront twice. But Anthony, who would have thought Anthony would give that goal, that lifeline, and make that equalizer at the 87th minute? This is Anthony there's been a lot of criticism on Anthony. There's been a lot of is just a waste in the team. There's been a lot of it's been going. There's been negative, back and forth. Negative for Anthony. Not that it was 100% today, but for you to score at that point, at that moment,
Crucial
at Old Trafford. The last time he scored a goal at Old Trafford was March last year.
Second goal in the whole season, right?
Exactly.
In all competition. That's
What would you make of Anthony goals and your reactions?
I mean, he was brought on to do a job and he did his job, but I'm still not impressed. This, like you said, second goal in as many competitions. It's still very poor, but he did what the coach asked him to do, and he got the goal. But overall, I'm still not impressed with Anthony so far.
Pius, we saw Rashford
Well,
today. We saw Rashford today. There's been a lot of talks about Rashford as well. He's been criticized a lot. Last 2 weeks, he brought up this. What's it called? He brought up this. Is it a storyline or a letter? Talking about how the fans have been, disrespecting him. That he has this flair for Manchester United. But today, he made a 60% game. I mean, his performance was. I can say, let me give him 6/10. He was up there. He would have got an hat-trick today, if not for some decision making. What would you make of the game and also Marcus Rashford? Like Anthony, like Rashford. Pius.
The fact that he had a good performance is actually something we all saw. But of course, but for Rashford, that game would have had no business going into extra time. I mean, if he had converted his chances, United had no business playing 120 minutes in that particular encounter. So we must also mention that fact. For Rashford, like you mentioned, just like Rashford, like Jadon Sancho, like Anthony, the fact that these guys scored goals today in the game against Liverpool doesn't negate the fact that they've had an underwhelming performance, below par performance. I mean, some players are just like that. Fernando Torres at Chelsea scored a crucial goal against Barcelona, but it was still regarded as a flop at Chelsea. For everything Gareth Bale did at Real Madrid, some fans will still tell you he didn't live up to expectation. Dembaba at Chelsea also scored a crucial goal against Liverpool that won the trophy. It was also regarded as not that great player at Chelsea. So some of these players will have just one or two cameo appearances where they score crucial goals, and that doesn't negate the fact that they've had underwhelming performance. Especially Anthony, he's had a poor performance, a performance that is capable of sending somebody to the championship, and not even the relegation, to the championship. That's the kind of performance he had at Manchester United. So I think the boy just had it. I would probably give them the credit for that win against Liverpool. Like I said again, the rivalry between these two teams, it's something that I would not take away. I think they played for pride, they played for the badge, they played for the rivalry, and that was just it. It doesn't take away the fact that Liverpool have had very, very poor performance. I still don't see them winning the trophy anyways.
Wow. Wale, there's this thing, going in the game, when the game was going on, Liverpool was in total control of this game. Like, the second half, the first 20 minutes, we might say, Manchester United had their affair. But coming back to the second half, we all know Liverpool is their second half team. They were in the control. How did they allow this to just slip away from them? I mean, should it be like you said the other time, the fatigue? But we can't make this as an excuse. This is Jurgen Klopp's last season. This is Jurgen Klopp's last FA Cup in the EPL. I know he wants this more than any other person. I know the players wanted this more than. But how did they allow this to slip away from them?
Well, so as you rightly said, Liverpool have scored 119 goals this season, and 75 of those goals have come in the second half.
Wow.
So that shows that they probably have a plan, maybe to sit back and watch you play first, and then they come at you. Everybody has seen that all our second half games have been crazy, especially against Manchester City before this Manchester United game. But I think football is more of mentality than physicality. So the boys were mentally tired. I mean, from what I saw, even if you look at some of the selections, Endo has played about 4 or 5 games in a row. Some players have played, in that team, like 4 games, 5 games. So mentally, these guys are tired. I think the international break has come at the right time, for them to rest. But I just feel we could have gone on to win the game, but I
Right.
just felt that we're not mentally, and we allowed the atmosphere and the occasion and everything that happened today, to get the best of us, including Jogging Club. No one is. I mean, everyone is a culprit today.
Wow.
It happens.
On Manchester United perspective, for all the criticism, for all the bashlag, for all the talks about Manchester United, today is one of the biggest games for Manchester United and Manchester United fans.
Yeah.
And they delivered.
They did.
They really delivered.
They did.
Shall we start praising Manchester United?
Oh yes, I mean, in my mind, we're the biggest club in the world. But let's not go there. Let's not go there.
That's it.
But yeah, I have to agree with him. I think it was down to mentality. I think Manchester United had a point to prove in this game. They wanted it more. They were at home. They'd been destroyed last year, 7-0. PTA,
Right.
still have some fans still have PTSD from that game. So
Right.
we don't want to. we didn't want to repeat of that game. So I think we just went all out. And some players even did things they've not done in a year, like Anthony. So yeah, magic happened, miracle happened.
Anthony scoring with his right foot.
Exactly. Yeah. Miracles
Well,
happen. I mean,
Pius, we've been asking a lot of big performance from Manchester United. We've been asking a lot of big performance, but they've not been giving us any big performance. But today, like I said, is one of the biggest games for Manchester United and Manchester United fan. So, Pius, Amadou Diallo got the goal. You know what? So, and then he was also sent off. No doubt about that. But determination, the soul. I mean, they were determined. They have this arts. They really gave everything on the pitch. At a point, Bruno Fernandes could not move.
It was wobbling, yeah.
McTominay could not move his legs. Pius, I mean, what a day for Manchester United and Manchester United fans.
Well, what a day, what a game at Old Trafford again,
And again, you don't have to be the best, to get some games, to win some games.
Yeah.
You just have to get the job done.
Exactly, and that's exactly the reason why I mentioned the place of rivalry in that game. I thought at some point United fans, I'm not fully aware that they're playing at Old Trafford. Trust me, if that game had been played at the Anfield, United wouldn't have even, I'm not sure they would have scored 2 goals in there. But I think they took the game to Liverpool at some point, and then they had to change the game. Something had to give way for Manchester United on the day, and that was exactly why I don't think we should start reading too much meaning into the game, to be honest, because again, Liverpool were the better side. Truth be told, they were the better side. If they had also converted some of their chances, they wouldn't have been where they are right now. So I am looking at the game in its entirety, and I am looking at a normal Manchester United we've seen all season. Maybe the character changed today, but the way at some point they were just launching the ball up and then having to do nothing with the ball. I think this is the normal United we've seen all season, and then their performance was just up there because of the character they put today. But trust me, it doesn't take away the fact that they are very, very far from making the top 4. It also does not take away the fact that this is the only trophy they can win this season aside the top 4. So it says a lot. It doesn't also take away the fact that they spent money at the beginning of the season. We all thought they were even going to contend for the title, judging from the way they ended last season, and then they've had a woeful season. It doesn't see, all these facts are there, and then one game towards the end of the season. We have just 10 games to go to the end of the season. One game towards the end of the season cannot just take away all of this. It doesn't also change the fact that Erik ten Hag can be sacked at the end of the season. That's how bad United have been this season. They've been very woeful.
What an anti-Manchester United fan from Pius.
Lots of words.
Anyways, this is Gold Rush Football Podcast with Larry, and you're watching Gold Rush Football TV. Thanks for the likes, thanks for the comments, thanks for your support, and thanks for sharing. You stand a chance to win yourself a brand new PlayStation 5 if you predict the winner of the UEFA Champions League final. Just tell us who the winner is going to be. And then also we'll be having a raffle draw to pick our winner, and also there will be a lot of jerseys to be won. Guys, Wale, will this affect Liverpool's EPL charge?
I think it's a capital no.
Oh, really?
A capital no.
Why?
So Jogging Club once said at the beginning of the season, at the point when people started talking about Liverpool's quadruple, we said they never thought of it once. None of the boys don't discuss it in the dressing room. So it's not. This is the FA Cup,
right?
And
Do you believe that?
I believe that. I believe that at the back of their mind, they have it at the back of their mind to win all the 4 trophies. But it's not something they see as a feasible thing, because we are not the only one playing in this competition. We have Manchester City, we have Chelsea, we have other teams playing. You understand? So, but I don't think this would have any effect on Liverpool. Liverpool has grown beyond. Liverpool is not a small club. They have a mentality. You understand?
The mentality monsters.
They are the mentality monsters in England. Trust me, if anything is going to happen now, the next team Liverpool is going to play now would bear the brunt of this match. Trust me. I mean, the way it happens to players is when they lose a game, they quickly want to play another game.
Even the fans,
just to prove
when the team is losing, the fans will want the game to be played.
They want to show to their coach that we are sorry, because they know. Look at the interview Jurgen Klopp gave. He supported these boys. They want to win for him. So it is not. We all know that 4 trophies is not feasible. You can't win 4. I mean, you can't. If you want to do that, you would need to play this season and probably not play next season. Right. You understand? So we just have to set our priorities right. And trust me, our priority is the league. The league, really? and maybe Europa, because even winning the Europa for Liverpool is like winning a second-class European Cup. We are known to contend in the Champions League, and we are back in the Champions League. But I don't think this will have any effect on Liverpool's season.
Well, on a Manchester United perspective, what does this mean for Erik ten Hag?
I mean, this might give him like just a tiny bit of hope that he might keep his job at the end of the season if he goes ahead.
I know Pius will not agree with that. What an anti-Manchester United fan.
If he manages to defeat Man City, because I know Chelsea is getting destroyed in the semis, beat Man City, get the trophy, maybe they can give him mini extension, try to see what he can do one more season. But if he doesn't go far, if he somehow Coventry defeats us, he might be gone after the game. We'll see. Well,
talking about Coventry, now the draw for the semi-final at Wembley is out. Coventry City will be playing Manchester United. What a draw. That's a bonus, right? I mean, you can never say. And also, Manchester City will be playing Chelsea. Now, looking at these 4 teams, we have Coventry City, Manchester United, Chelsea, and Manchester City. It's obvious that Manchester City are the favourites in these four teams, because there's no team that can, that we can say is going to give Manchester City a charge except Liverpool. We know that. All these 3 teams, Manchester United, Chelsea, and Coventry, is a no-no for Manchester City. But this is football. Do you see anything can happen?
This is FA Cup, Larry.
This is FA Cup.
We have seen a certain Birmingham City.
Right.
What team was that defeated Arsenal in the Carling Cup? There was a team Obafemi Martins played for that won Arsenal in the final. This is the Carabao. This is FA Cup, right?
Yeah.
We have seen
offsets
and seen under.
But again, we're talking about Coventry and Manchester United. How would you lose to Liverpool in this such way and throw it away against Coventry?
So let's not underrate anything.
Wale, did you see Coventry Wolves game?
I saw it. I saw the highlights, but then I also know a lot about Commentary because this season.
If those guys play Manchester United the way they played Wolves,
they can beat anybody.
So Commentary scored the first goal. Wolves got the equalizer, and Coventry, I think in like 5 or 7 minutes in that game, they scored the winner, and then it was it. And the way they were playing, it was not as if they were playing this balloon football. They were putting the ball on the ground for Wolves in Premier League side. I mean, those guys play good football. If that draw, when I saw the draw, I was like, okay, United fans would be happy about this, but I think they should go and see the Wolves Coventry game again, and then they'll have something to worry about. Trust me.
Pius, just to buttress your point, Coventry has scored 62 goals this season. That's for a championship side.
But I mean, all this. I mean,
I think they have more goals than Manchester United.
When we analyze sometimes, there's also the realistic part. I mean, we can be sitting here and be hypothetical about the game. That, Manchester United will beat Coventry. Coventry, they are a very dangerous side. They can upset Manchester United. But come on, this is Manchester United we're talking about, guys. And this is the FA Cup.
My brother.
Seun. Billions of dollars have been spent. even if you have all the mentality in the world, the amount of talent the Manchester United squad
it's just, I mean, in all departments. Come on.
No doubt United are right. But we have seen
upsets.
AC Milan in the Champions League final, they had the best players in each position. Shevchenko, Crespo, Maldini, all these guys.
But this scenario
They
is
lost to
totally
the-
different.
They lost to the.
This is Manchester United.
On paper,
that they
everybody
have
gave it to
anything.
AC Milan, but we won it. So I mean, we can't talk football like that.
Okay.
Yeah, we can't talk. But Man U are favourites, anyways.
All right. I don't want us to talk. Should we talk about Manchester City and Chelsea? Is there anything coming up from there?
I mean, that could still be a surprise if I think Chelsea played Man City twice, and I think
let's hear from the Chelsea man, Pius. Manchester City, Chelsea. What's the posh man, the posh guy? Pochettino militant.
I honestly think City are the favourites anyways, regardless of where that game will be played. But if you take a look at the last two games,
even if it's tied for 65,
you will notice they played 2 draws, and they both scored 5 goals against each other. So I think the game will be opened. But I think City are favourite. They are favourite. In fact, to win the trophy, they are favourite. So I honestly don't see what Chelsea would do. And then you don't know the Chelsea that would show up. That's another problem. I mean, Chelsea against Leicester City, they went ahead. Raheem Sterling missed the penalty, missed a couple of chances. Leicester City came back. That game 2-2 at some point before Kane Chukwuemeka and Madueke got 2 goals for Chelsea. In the 9 minutes of that game, that saw them win 4-2. So I probably don't know the Chelsea that will show up against Manchester City. And that's the more reason why I would give it to Manchester City. But if I'm going to analyze it, but the truth is, when you analyze, I heard you talking about we overanalyzing Coventry Manchester United. The truth is, when we analyze games, there are a lot of things we put into perspective, and that's the one reason why I was talking about United. I was talking about their season in totality. You can't single out one game and then excuse the other games because a team have just won or progressed. And exactly the reason why I don't know we're going to talk about this later. The Champions League also. That's another matter. But
we'll be going there. We'll be going to the Champions League. Now that you've mentioned the Champions League, Pius, let's talk about the Champions League. On Friday, we saw the draw of the UEFA Champions League. We have the bracket of Dortmund versus Atletico Madrid. We have PSG will be taking on Barcelona. And also, we have Arsenal, the Gunners, will be taking on Bayern Munich. And the last tie, which is a repeat of the last season semi-final, which is Manchester City against Real Madrid. Guys, what stood out, to you in the for the draws, Seun? What stood out?
Just one game.
And the game was what?
Arsenal Bayern, barbecue chicken.
Really?
I've seen 7-2, 8-2. Come on away.
Arsenal fans will not want to take that from you,
They won't take it, but
really, what's Seun talking about?
Are
you saying Bayern is going to beat Arsenal?
Oh yeah.
No, that's
Bayern will concede, but
okay.
Pius, what stood out to you in the draw?
That's serious.
Let's talk about. Okay, let me do this. Let's talk about the bracket. We have a bracket side of Atletico Madrid and Dortmund. We also have the one for PSG and Barcelona. We have another bracket for PSG and then Arsenal. We have a bracket for Arsenal and Bayern Munich. We have the last bracket for Manchester City and Real Madrid. Now, the winner from this side, we already know who the who will be playing each other in the semi-final. Now, looking at this bracket, we know the stronger side of the bracket. Am I making any points there, Pius? We know the stronger side of the bracket, which is the Manchester City, Real Madrid, Bayern Munich, and Arsenal. And we know the weakest side, based on statistics and based on results, which is going to be Atletico Madrid, Dortmund, Barcelona, and PSG. Pius.
Maybe you're right. If you call them the weaker side, you might be right. But you also take a look at Atletico de Madrid in that particular pot. That's also another team that would want to. If PSG manages to escape Barca, I think they would also be a tough team in the final because. I remember in 2020 when Thomas Tuchel was the manager of PSG.
Here we go again with your Thomas Tuchel. Here we go again with your Thomas Tuchel allegiance. Pius, go ahead.
That was the same way they were wobbling and they were fumbling until they got to the finals. And even though they lost that final to Bayern, but we saw the performance they put up against the Bayern in that final. So I think PSG Atletico might also be a top. But I agree with you that the stronger side has to be that group that houses Arsenal, Bayern, Manchester City, and Real Madrid.
Guys, why do we have to be predetermine, the semi-final? Generally the draw. I feel you made the draw for the round of 16. Why don't you make the draw? Well, you made the draw for the quarterfinal. Why don't you make the draw for the semi-final? Why are we having to know who and who is going to play each other? I mean, the excitement of there's going to be a draw for semi-final. It's all gone. I mean, I feel there ought to be another draw for the semis. Not you and I sitting here and already predicting this bracket is going to face this bracket and the other. For the mind and the players. I don't know what you guys feel. I just want to hear your opinion on that, Seun.
Yeah, I mean, with that, people are even saying, "Oh, we already know one of these 4 teams on this side is going to be the winner." So there's that excitement is gone. That randomness of the draw that you like, this team just randomly faces, underdogs versus big teams. Yeah, favorite. Yeah, it's already gone.
Yeah, to me, I think UEFA does that intentionally. Some of these games are, done for revenues. A Manchester City Real Madrid game will sell more than probably a Man City and another
Dortmund or something.
I'm not trying to belittle any team here. I'm not trying to disrespect any team. So, but everything is about revenue, because at the end of the day, at the end of the season, UEFA still has to give each of these clubs a percentage of so you have to put something on the screen for the fans to subscribe to.
All right, let's get into the game properly. The draw we have. I'll be starting with the Real Madrid Manchester City. It's a repeat of the semi-final for last season. Pius, how will Carlo Ancelotti set up his boys against Manchester City? We know the first leg that happened, it was at the Santiago Bernabeu. The second leg was a total disgrace to football and humanity, whereby Pep Guardiola and Manchester United disgraced the White Angels, disgraced the Los Blancos boys, disgraced Carlo Ancelotti. Vinicius was off. We all know the end of the story. How will Carlo Ancelotti set up this team in the semi-final? I know it's still 2-3 weeks, but I just want us to talk about it before then. We'll still be having much conversation, but I want to hear your opinion on how will Ancelotti set up his Real Madrid side against Pep Guardiola.
Okay. Well, for the pairing, I think before I mentioned that, I think I heard someone talk about the route to the semi-finals. I think you were the one that mentioned it, where you said they should have done another draws for the semi-finals.
Right.
I think for each competition there are rules for every competition. So if the FA Cup, this was stated before the competition even started. So if the FA Cup have their draws for semi-finals, it has been stated before the competition. So each competition with its own unique rules. So I think that's what actually makes the UEFA Champions League different from every other competition. Having said that, I think for the pairing itself, to be honest, I worry for the defense of Real Madrid. The reason why I'm saying this is because if you take a look at the defense in the last few weeks, they've been having to do with makeshift defenders. Sometimes you see midfielders playing as defenders in some games, and that's where I worry for them. If they have their defenders back healthy and complete, are ready to go, I think they should be able to give Manchester City a run for their money.
Because last season, Manchester Real Madrid, well, they have Militao, they have Cavaja, they have their defense were there. They also have Thibaut Courtois against Manchester City side. They have Karim Benzema, right, against this Manchester City side. But now, like you said, this is a makeshift defense. We have Kamavinga playing the left back. We have Tchouaméni playing as a centre back. Nacho coming in. A lot of pass and chop. How would they be able to set up?
Exactly why I stated that if they have their defenders back, right? So we don't know how long, or we don't know if some of these guys will be back before the 10th of April, right? And that's the reason why I'm saying if you have your defenders back, because if you look at the midfield and the forward of Real Madrid, you see guys who can score goals and of course create chances. So I think in those aspects, in the midfield and defense, midfield and attack, they are sorted. But where I worry for them is their defense. If they can sort that out, if they can have their players back, hopefully they can get a chance. But if not, I think the guys up front at Manchester City will run that defense ragged if they are not their proper defenders. That's my own opinion. But
Wale, how do you think Manchester City will feel with this draw?
Wow.
How do you think Man City will feel with this draw?
Man City would be happy. They will be licking their lips.
Really?
Because
but they've not been convincing as well this season.
You are right.
They've been neither here nor there.
You are right.
I mean, well, it's the Champions League.
It is the Champions League, and when two big teams meet, you have to.
And of course, they are the favourites even before the kick of the Champions League.
Even last season, they were the favourites.
Okay.
And when Real Madrid had all their guys together, I could remember at some point in the match last season, Madrid had to call a 10 seconds meeting after Manchester City scored a goal. They called a meeting in the middle of the game. They had like a 5 seconds meeting. Like, boy, these guys are killing us.
This is fire.
We have to do something. No, you can go and watch the game again. So, but I'm just saying this because on a good day, if Manchester City plays you, if they are their best, you are going to suffer. Whether you have whoever, if they are on top of their game, it's better, you just pray that God saves you. But I think Real Madrid will be welcoming Thibaut Courtois and Eder Militao back during the international break. They are even trying to organize a friendly match, just to test their fitness.
But will they be ready for this game?
I mean, they will not be thrown into it straight away, but who knows? Within 3 weeks, they can be back,
Seun, if Real Madrid gets out of this group, get out of this stage, that means defeating Manchester City.
Yeah.
What does that mean? I mean, okay, no, let me say, because it's obvious Manchester City are the favourites going into this game. But what if Real Madrid are knocked out of this Manchester City? I mean, against Manchester City, how would this mean for their season? Because right now they are on top of the La Liga with 6-7 points, I guess. But if they are out of the Champions League, which we all know, Real Madrid, the Champions League is what they really want. I mean, while they really need the La Liga back, from Barcelona having winning the Champions last season. So how would this mean if they are out against Manchester City?
I mean, it gives them full focus. With Girona, peppering their legs and them having to run left, right. This allows them to fully focus all their resources on La Liga, which is one of their huge targets for this season. So I think it should be good for them. But I don't think they'll want to go out the same way they went out last year. I think when it comes to pride, it's not something they want. So it will be a huge blow for them mentally. But when it comes to hitting their goal of winning the trophy, winning La Liga, should be a positive too.
Is it going to be a positive for Real Madrid if they are to be out of the Champions League against Manchester City, Pius? Because we know the Los Blancos boys. Some people even call them Proud Boys FC. What they really want is this Champions League. They don't care about this. I mean, they don't care about domestic trophies. Is it La Liga or Champions League? So losing against Manchester City again, they say once beaten, twice shy. Do you think Real Madrid will bow down to Manchester City again, Pius?
I don't think they will bow down to Manchester City. I think we are, even though of course everyone knows I am a lover of Pep, but the reality is that this City side have not been fantastic. We've seen them we've seen them in big games this season, and we saw them home and away against Chelsea. We saw them against Liverpool. We saw them against Arsenal. So we've seen them in big games this season. I don't think they've been that even their what was it, the round of 16 game they played. I can't remember who they play right now. They considered goals home and away. So
against Copenhagen,
I think there's really something that's fundamentally wrong with it. And I think every big team would have a chance against Manchester City. This is not me saying this because we've seen them. Since forever, they lost against Arsenal this season. Since forever, they drew man away against Chelsea. Since forever, a lot of things have really gone. Even small teams have been getting points off Manchester City this season, and I don't see City as that. The way the fearful season City we saw last season is not the same we are seeing this season. I think if Real Madrid bring their A game, I think they have a chance against this Manchester City side of this season. Like I mentioned in the last episode, and I think some persons actually took that out of context when I said
the Manchester City are not they are not a very good side, right?
Oh my God, what happened?
Okay, Pius, Wale, let's just round this up. Let me ask you, finally, who takes this? I know it's still April.
Between Madrid and
Manchester City, who goes through?
for me, City.
City. Seun, let me ask you this. Who goes through?
Me, just for my dream of having El Clasico final, I'll say Madrid.
Oh, so you're still... Okay, don't let's go there. Don't let's go there yet. So, Pius, who goes through?
It's 50-50.
Don't sit on the fence right here. Give us what you want, please.
50-50.
Okay, if I would have to pick a team, I would say Real.
Real Madrid. Anyways, guys, let's move on to the next game in that bracket. Arsenal versus Bayern Munich. There's this quote from Thomas Muller when the draw was made. He said, and I quote, Arsenal is a team that will give us 2 exciting games. They are currently in a good form and have a good momentum. It will be tough, but with the second leg in Munich, we have a good chance of progressing. Guys, let me start from Pius. Pius, what a confidence, a very good confident statement, from Thomas Muller.
Yeah, and I think he's been having this back and forth with Kai Havertz also, his national teammate. But the truth is, there is no better time to beat Bayern than now for us now. I mean, there is no better time to beat Bayern than now. This Bayern side.
I mean, that's quite a statement from a player of a team that have been very, very useless this season.
Leave statement. He has. I mean, this what's his name? Thomas Müller has been there all season. They've lost a couple of games and they are 10 points behind the league leaders. I think if Arsenal can bring their A game against Bayern, banter aside, even though the history does not favor Arsenal, but banter aside.
Yeah, we remember the 5-2-5-2. So add everything together. That's 10-11. I mean 10, 5-1-5-1. That's 10-2. We still remember. Go ahead, Pius. I know where you are going. If you don't have that confidence of saying it because the Arsenal fans will come to you, I will help you out. Remind us about the 5-1-5-1. The last time this happened, which was 10-2 equivalent. Go ahead, Pius. I think I said Pius. Guys, what a statement from Thomas Muller. Seun.
Me, I'm very one-sided with this matchup. I don't know why. My memory is just clouded with 10-2. I can't see anything else. I mean, it's a massive scoreline, and it's something you don't want to just, let go away. You have to keep the standard, keep the pressure. Arsenal just came back after how many years out of the Champions League?
After suffering for 600 years.
Yeah, they can't just come back and just, come and bounce you. Even though you're having a bad period in the league, Bayer Leverkusen having the form of their life, unbeaten. You still have to make a statement and show them that we are Bayern. It's just one bad season.
Before I ask Wale who is going to advance, Bayern Munich have been neither here nor there. Their coach, Thomas Tuchel, will not be at their affairs next season. We already know he's going. Bayer Leverkusen are 10 points clear of Bayern Munich this season. But they have these individual guys. They have Musiala. Musiala can give you his moments. They have Leroy Sané. Leroy Sané can be, if he's on his game, he can give you that moment. They have one of the best strikers in Europe. They have Harry Kane. They have these guys. They have Goretzka. Even if it's back and forth, they still have Coman is back from, Gnabry is back from injury. They have these guys. Sure. Meanwhile, on the other side, Arsenal are very, very good this season. But again, they can hurt. They can hurt the Gunners with this individual brilliance. We saw what happened last season. But Dortmund, they were off of leaving the Bundesliga to losing the Bundesliga to Dortmund. But what happened? Jamal Musiala gave them that goal, that winning goal at the last minute, and they won the Bundesliga. So this individual brilliance is there because I see these Arsenal fans, they are like, oh yeah, they are in the form of their life. They have all the personnel as well. Yes, no doubt about that. Man for man, the Gunners, they have these guys. They are a very coordinated team. They have a team. But we can't say the same thing for Thomas Tuchel and Bayern. They don't have the team, but they have the personnel. Who takes this, Wale?
Well, I think this match has a bad history for us now. I think.
So Wale too, you want to go to? Why is everybody going back to the reference of 5-1, 5-1, 10-2? Arsenal fans, you can all see I'm very neutral here. I mean,
my fault,
if you start throwing stones, don't come to my house. Take it away from me.
It's history, actually. I think it was this same Bayern team that ended Arsenal's relevance in the Champions League.
Oh yeah.
You still have the piece here, Dubai.
I mean, 10-2, you know, that's not a good thing. But then, if you look at the two teams, this is a tale of a team
Everything is changed.
that is doing badly domestically. That's Bayern, and a team doing very well domestically. Arsenal, I would not say, because they struggled against Porto. I was thinking, you know, they would trash Porto in the second leg, but they struggled to win that game. But I think it might come down to individual brilliance. And when it comes to individual brilliance, they both have it. Trust me. Bayern has Harry Kane. They could use the spore factors. They have Serge Gnabry. Don't mind Muller. He talks a lot. He plays a lot, you know. But, you know, if you look at it, Arsenal also have dangerous players.
100%.
Martin Odegaard is one of the best playmakers available.
And they have the most expensive rice
I have to be honest with you.
in the whole world now.
And they also have
That's
Saka,
right.
who can, you know, on his, you know, good day, can destroy any defender.
I want to quickly talk about Saka. You know, there's been a lot of, you know, criticism about Saka in big games. Arsenal fans have been coming for him as well. I mean, I don't want to talk about rival fans. You know what rival fans have been saying. We saw the game against Porto. Some divided Arsenal fans. They were. I mean, I don't think. Is it they? They are not. They tried to cover what the performance Saka gave. It wasn't this Saka we used to see against Porto, home and away.
Yeah.
But again, when a player is not playing very well, I don't really understand why. I mean, as a fan, I mean, we all love our players. We support them when they lose. But why can't we be honest when the player is? Because even the players himself knows it didn't. Because after the game, he came out. But there's this thing that comes out, like, you know, I mean, I don't know what you guys think. I'm just keeping that in. Like, you know, do we have to always cover these guys when they don't perform?
No. So I think we have to support them first.
100%, yes.
First and foremost, we don't have to go to their social media page and
right.
write stuff about them. But when we talk about sports amongst ourselves, we can always tell ourselves the truth. You know, if a player does well, we praise him. If he doesn't do well, you know, if he's consistent with not performing well, you know, we keep talking about it until it gets better. You understand?
Right.
For him. So, but one thing I've kind of noticed about Arsenal fans, I mean, I want to say they compare all their players to virtually every world-class players.
Yeah.
Wow.
I think that is, I mean, is to me, I see comments like Saka, Vinicius, Saka, Mbappe. I mean, these guys are, you know, they are not there yet. You know, when they get to that stage.
I remember there was a certain time an Arsenal fan was comparing Martinelli to Ronaldo de Lima because he had his haircut. Because at that time, Martinelli had his
form then.
Had his haircut, you know, of Ronaldo de Lima, and he was having this form. So
he has to do
they
a
were
lot.
comparing.
He has
you know,
to do,
like,
you have to do a lot to be compared to those greats.
I mean, no doubt about that. These
Saka
guys
is
are
a very good player,
100%,
and a very important player to Arsenal.
Right.
You know, nobody would deny that. But sometimes he's not consistent. And one of the reasons why people say, oh, Salah this, Salah that for Liverpool is because you can't have a player score you 20 goals for 7 seasons. 20 times 7.
and if he's not scoring, he's giving you an assist.
You know, his goal and assist ratio is
I mean,
crazy.
I understand.
Saka too does it. But when he does badly, let us also say it.
Right.
You know.
I understand. You know, this game is a team sport. A player might not be 100%. His teammates will cover up for him.
Sure.
They'll be like, guy, we don't say you FK for this game, but you know, it's a team sport. Everyone will cover for each other.
Sure.
But I mean, we can't be singling out a player out for all his performance when he does good. Oh, this guy is very, very good when he's doing good. But when he's not there, let's just
say.
Seun, finally, who takes this? Arsenal or PSG?
Bayern Munich, definitely.
I mean, Arsenal or Bayern Munich, I beg your pardon. Bayern. Wale, who takes this?
It's tricky for me. It's tricky. It's 50-50, but I think I'll give it to Arsenal because I heard that Bayern is not going to have their supporters come to England.
Yes,
Second leg.
Bayern Munich.
So
So
that-
they have
that
a ban.
also.
There's a ban. So it's going to be 60,000 Arsenal fans at the
So
Emirates.
that could also play a part for
But
Arsenal. I think Arsenal.
But you also pointed out like them struggling against Porto. You can't struggle against Porto and try to get a victory out of Bayern Munich. Even with all the fans in the world,
True.
there's aura that comes with this Champions
True,
League.
but don't forget, you also said playing at home too helped Manchester United today.
Pius, your final thoughts
factor.
on this Arsenal and Bayern Munich, then we move on.
Okay. Honestly, I wouldn't use the Porto game to rate Arsenal because yes, they struggled against Porto. Porto is also a big team in Europe. Porto is also a big team in the UEFA Champions League. So it is not a crime to struggle
Football
against
heritage.
Again, I mean, Bayern also struggled against Lazio. They lost the first leg. They did. So it's a two-way thing. It's not a one-way thing, to be honest. And I think Arsenal also do have every arsenal to harm this Bayern side because
I love that.
with the kind of attackers they have, the kind of midfielders they have, they might not have experience as much as FC Bayern. Of course, 6-time UEFA Champions League winners cannot be regarded as a joke. These guys are perennial Champions League semi-finalists. In fact, they don't miss it. So for Arsenal side, but again, we're going to analyze this based on form now. I think the only thing that will give Arsenal an edge over Bayern would be form. They have the form going into this game. They have the better form going into this game. But in terms of pedigree, history, panache, everything that has to do with the UEFA Champions League, Bayern do have it. And sometimes in the UEFA Champions League like that, you see form. You see form overriding history. We've seen that a couple of times. If it's by history, City would have defeated Chelsea to Champions League. Chelsea would have won the two Champions League, the first Champions League they won against Bayern if it is by history. So sometimes in the Champions League like that, you see form and then you see some other characters overriding history. Do you understand? So that's why I think Arsenal do have a chance against Bayern this time around. And if they can get it right this time around, they will defeat Bayern. I don't know of another time, but for now, people keep talking about the 5-1, 5-1. Yes, while I agree 10-2, but the quality of, in fact, the players that played in that game are no more in this side. Not one.
Right.
This is a different team under a different manager. So I think they stand a chance against Bayern, even though I will not tip them, sure. I think they will beat him, but I think they stand a chance.
Pius, even though you are not tipping them,
I'm not tipping them, but I think they stand a chance. It will not be a whitewash.
they stand a
It will not
chance.
be a whitewash.
All right,
They might lose.
guys, let's talk about the PSG game. PSG, they are slight favorites against Barcelona. I mean, this is a team that has one of the best players in the world. I mean, arguably top two best player in the world, Kylian Mbappe. What do you think is going to happen, Wale?
PSG, Barcelona.
PSG, Barcelona.
I don't want to predict Barcelona because every time I think they will fail, they've come, strongly.
They disappoint you. Anytime you think they will do a
When
marker.
you write them off, they will just blow you and they'll be like, ah. So, but I mean, I think PSG too has what it takes to do, damage to Barcelona. But I think in the course of the two legs, I would give it to Barcelona.
Seun, what do you think is going to happen?
I know for sure goals, lots of goals. Both sides are very, very capable of giving goals like in every single game they play. Always at least 2 goals in every game they play. But I don't know. I seem to want to side PSG in this because I don't know with Xavi leaving at the end of the season, a lot of injuries in Barcelona side. I think PSG, Mbappe in his final season will want to win something and will have that mental edge. So I think I'll go for PSG on this one.
Well, when the draw for the round of 16 was made against Napoli, we had this on one of our episodes, I and Pius. I said, this is there's one useless side and a very rubbish side. It's a fixture of a useless side and a rubbish side. Based on the form which the two teams were at that time, Barcelona were very poor then. PSG was not doing, Napoli was not doing good. So then we said it's a tie of a useless side and a rubbish side. But unfortunately, to the rival fans, that are listening to this podcast that thought Barcelona would not qualify out of that group, the likes of Osimhen, the likes of Kvaratskhelia, at the end of the day, Paul Kubasi, a 17-year-old defender, stopped Osimhen, and we now know who qualifies for the quarter final. That's Barcelona are now in the top 8. Whatever you want to call it, I don't care what you want to call it. They are now one of the top 8 teams in Europe right now. Despite the fact that they are Brooklona, as some rival fans call them, despite the fact that they cannot afford a penny to sign players, despite the fact that they cannot register players, ladies and gentlemen, Barcelona, Football Club de Barcelona are going to play in the quarter final. What a victory to celebrate. Pius, let's hear from you. Because I remember Pius was very emotional with me. He said he felt my emotions in the last episode when I was listing out the injuries which Barcelona were going. Because this is the Barcelona side that played without two of the best midfielders in their team against Napoli. No one gave them that chance. Let's be realistic. And they went ahead to defeat Napoli in a very comfortable fashion. What more can I say, Pius?
Larry, you played against a poor team. You played against a woeful Napoli. You played against a shambolic Napoli side. You played against a distracted side, a team that has changed managers 3 times this season. 3 times, Larry. Come on, man.
But what if it had gone south? Are we going to be having this conversation? Pius, give credit to whom credit is due to.
We will have that conversation because if you had played. Trust me, if you had even played the FC Porto Arsenal play, you would have been knocked out.
But remember, this Porto, Barcelona disgraced them easily in the group stage. I'm just letting you know that.
Larry,
I mean, I'm not putting on my Barcelona clothes today. To the fans and the listeners watching this, I'm just trying to give credit to whom credit is due to. For FC Barcelona that have failed to qualify for the quarter-final of the Champions League for over 4 years. The last time they qualified, they had the best player in the world in Lionel Messi. The last time they qualified to the round of, to the quarter-final, they have one of the best team in the world. Right now, 2024, FC Barcelona will be playing in the UEFA Champions League quarter-final. And who knows? I said something last time on this podcast. I said, Jurgen Klopp, Pius, I said Jurgen Klopp announced he was leaving Mainz in 2005. Barcelona won the Champions League. Jurgen Klopp announced he was leaving.
2006.
In 2000, Jurgen Klopp announced he was leaving Borussia Dortmund in 2012. 2010, 2011, right? No, 2015.
Okay.
Barcelona won the Champions League. Jurgen Klopp, the Liverpool coach, announced that he's going to be leaving Liverpool Football Club in 2024. Ladies and gentlemen, could this be Barcelona year?
Okay. Correlation doesn't.
All the trophies was won.
Larry, let me shock you. With
Please shock me. Go ahead.
Now, Cote d'Ivoire won the AFCON final.
Here we go. Here we go again, Pius. Here we go again.
No, you just brought out superstitions. Let me give you one. Before this year, Cote d'Ivoire won the AFCON final. Every time Nigeria have knocked out Cote d'Ivoire in the AFCON, they've always gone ahead to win that AFCON. They didn't win it this time. That's one. Secondly, every team that has knocked out FC Porto in the UEFA Champions League have all gone ahead to win the UEFA Champions League. Can Arsenal win the Champions League this year? The answer is in the question already.
No.
So you see how this is just mentioned right now. You see how this is just mentioned right there. Eh?
So
Where the football will be played. The truth is Napoli. When you're talking about teams that can even do well on the continent, you don't mention Napoli. So if you remember what I told you before that game, I said these are two teams, in fact I don't know the adjective qualifier.
One useless side and one rubbish side.
Inconsistent side.
Two inconsistent teams, and they have to face each other. And then the better side, if Napoli had even won, I'll have still been saying the same thing that they knocked out an inconsistent Barcelona.
Well,
so I don't think you should read too much meaning into that.
I'm not, Pius. I'm not. I'm just saying, Pius. I'm not reading any meaning. I'm just saying this is a Barcelona side that out without that played the round of 16 without their best talisman in midfield, Frankie de Jong, Pedri was out, Gavi was out. They had to rely on 17-year-old Paul Kubasi and a 16-year-old Yamil Lamau, a Barcelona side that their coach, Xavi Hernandez, will be leaving at the end of the season. A Barcelona side that could not sign a player, that could not register a player at the beginning of the season. Right now, Barcelona are going to be playing in the quarterfinal. Wale, let me hear from you.
A Napoli side that lost Mijai, one of their best midfielders. A
Pius.
Napoli side that has disjointed midfielders. A Napoli side that has changed coaches 3 times. A Napoli side with an unfit Victor Osimhen that does not even know if he will be there next season or not. His mind is out of the team. So they have a disjointed team. So that's the team you face now.
All right.
A Napoli side that wouldn't even make it into the top 4. That wouldn't make it to the top 4 in the Italian Serie A. That's the team you faced. That's the team you faced.
Okay. On the PSG perspective, you know, Barcelona will be facing PSG in the quarterfinal now. Like we said, PSG, they are this side that, you know, a former player from Barcelona, Ousmane Dembele, will be on the right side. Kylian Mbappe will be on the left side. Maybe Bacola will be, you know, being that substitute. They also have Colomwani, they have Goncalo Ramos. They have these guys. And again, their coach, Luis Enrique, a former Barcelona player and a former Barcelona coach who has won the Champions League for Barcelona, who has won the La Liga for Barcelona, will be coming back home. I mean, there are a lot of identities in this game, guys. I mean, what do you guys think?
Well, I think I'll call this a battle of familiarity. I hope Ousmane Dembele will be available to play the game, you know.
I mean, it's been okay for PSG ever since he made that move, because in Barcelona it's been it's been good when he's fit, but he's always at the front row at Eskenazi every time, you know, he plays with Barcelona. But for PSG,
if you ask for a jersey, you get injured.
But for PSG, it's been consistent. It's been out of injury. But again, it's coming back home. I mean, the first leg is going to played at Parc des Princes. The second leg will be at the Montjuic, that's Barcelona new home. But again, how will Ousmane Dembele be received with the way he left the club? A guy that Barcelona, spent a lot of money to bring to the club and could only leave the club for just 25 million quid. Is he not going to receive, I've been seeing a lot of things online. I hope he's not going to receive a Luis Figo reception when it comes to Montjuic.
I think he's not going to be welcomed the way he wants. He's not going to get an heroic welcome. No, trust me, it's not going to. It's not going to be like a Lionel Messi coming back to play at the Nou Camp. Never. It's not going to be like that. But these guys are professional. He doesn't care.
But the fans don't want that. The fans, they are, before he left Barcelona, there's a certain time that when he plays, the fans booed him. They don't want this guy. But he went ahead on that based on his performance. He was given a 10/10 performance. So they never tried to do that again. They stopped that. But again, he left Barcelona when nobody expected. Even it was a bleed in Xavi's heart when Ousmane Dembele left. When he's on his game, when he's out of injury, he's also good. But his finishing is so poor. But again, I don't want to talk about. I don't want to talk about. I don't want to talk about Dembele too much. Let me switch to Kylian Mbappe. All roads leads to Mbappe being a Real Madrid player next season. He had done his first test against a Spanish side in Real Sociedad in the round of 16. His biggest rival that will be facing every season, it's just 6 games. It's just 2 games, home and away in the La Liga. It's Barcelona. This is another test. If Kylian Mbappe bumping out Barcelona in the round of 16, in the quarterfinal, will be one of the best gifts Real Madrid fans will receive. Don't you guys think that?
Well, I think it's going to be a difficult match for Barcelona. I have to be honest with you. These guys,
because there are a lot of controversies, there are a lot of stories.
They have assembled young stars that are experienced.
Right.
They like winners, Champions League winners. Asensio has won it before. Dembele has won it before. I think he won it with Barcelona, right?
No. He won the league.
He won the league.
Barcelona no spare Champions League now.
Mbappe has the experience.
He's suffering for 600
years.
years.
To the semi-finals, quarter-finals, So Barcelona should be careful so they don't end up, sending their own people to destroy them.
Pius, let me just hear your final thoughts. PSG with Kylian Mbappe, with Ousmane Dembele, they have Bacola, they have Goncalo Ramos, they have Nunes, they have Skriniar, they have Nunes, they have Lee Kangé, that's Korean guy. Guys, Pius, what's your take? I mean, I know you have this anti-Barcelona. You will tell me. I mean, let me just hear it from your mouth and let's move on. Go ahead, Pius.
Well, I think in terms of quality, PSG do have the better quality compared to Barcelona. So
Right.
I also don't think Real Madrid fans will be bothered about this game because
You think so?
They have a bigger fish to fry.
No. I mean, I'm talking about the fans. I'm talking about the fans. Don't you think if PSG take out Barcelona, this is going to be a big, a big gift for the Los Blancos?
The fans are more concerned about going through
Okay.
themselves against Manchester City. You are right.
About Manchester City are not.
No, nobody cares.
I think with the players you've just mentioned,
right.
I see quality everywhere, but I also see inexperience also in that side. I think Asensio should be the only player who have won the Champions League in that squad.
Yes.
Okay, they have this guy is still there. This is their second choice goalkeeper. This guy from Real Madrid is still there. What's that his name?
He's not more there again. He's gone to Mexican side. He keeps for this Mexican side. He's gone. Keylor Navas is no more in PSG, I guess. Yeah, he's not more.
Okay. So Asensio should be probably the only player that's won the Champions League in that squad. So I see quality, but they are largely inexperienced in this particular level. Maybe only Mbappe is the guy I think can carry them. This is my own unpopular opinion also. I know a lot of persons might disagree, but I think if Mbappe leaves that side, they'll play as a unit and they'll play better without Mbappe.
True.
To be honest.
True. All right, guys. For the last draw, let's talk about the last draw. Atletico Madrid, Borussia Dortmund. The first leg in the round of 16, Inter Milan will be licking their fingers down. Why didn't they took their chances? They ought to have killed the game in the first leg. Inter Milan, Atletico Madrid. But again, the reverse fixture at the Wanda Metropolitano, which Atletico Madrid they've not lost in the league. And also in the Champions League, I guess. They only lost to Atletico Bilbao in the Copa in the Copa del Rey, They came to the Wanda Metropolitano and Atletico Madrid was able to pull through against the runners-up of the UEFA Champions League last year. Meanwhile, Borussia Dortmund, they qualified from the so-called group of death, the group that has Dortmund, that has a PSG, that has Dortmund, that has Juventus, and that has Newcastle. Yeah. Borussia Dortmund qualified. They are not doing good in the Bundesliga, but again, they are facing this Atletico Madrid. They are facing this Atletico Madrid and Diego Simeone. Seun, what should we be expecting?
I can't even pick a side. It feels like battle of two teams that can't just stop conceding. So I think this might just boil down to Simeone's trickiness and him just finding a way to get a quick goal and just shut down the defense in both legs, just run away with the result. Because I don't see Dortmund, even with the addition of Sancho to the team, I don't see.
That's where I was about to say, your boy Jadon Sancho.
No, not my boy.
Oh, okay. He's still your boy because he's still under your. He's not a former. He's there on loan.
On loan. Okay.
So if you want to win on 20 million, you should go.
Wale, let me hear your thoughts on that game.
Well, as you have said, two teams that can't stop conceding goals. But I think the first leg will be key. Wanda Metropolitano. These guys, I think they won 40 points out of possible 42. They are strong there. These guys are strong. Forget about the fact that they have been inconsistent, But I think that tie for me is the tie of the round. We have seen Man City, Madrid. We almost know where it's going to lead to. But this is tricky, and I think Atletico will pull through.
Pius, Atletico Madrid, Borussia Dortmund. Borussia Dortmund are very useless in the Bundesliga. They're very, very inconsistent. Meanwhile, Atletico Madrid also, they are not doing that good in the La Liga. But again, they've been outstanding at their home in the league. The Wanda Metropolitano is a fortress to them. What more can I say, Pius?
Well, I think it's one way. If their last game in the UEFA Champions League is anything to go by. If you saw the second leg between Dortmund and PSG, you understand why I said it's one way. PSV, I beg your pardon, PSV and would have even gotten an equalizer before Dortmund scored the second goal and third goal in that game. They were at some point they were all over Borussia Dortmund, and then they had a couple of chances they missed. Dortmund in the UEFA Champions League, yes, they qualified against at the expense of PSG, but they were not really PSV. Not I don't know why I keep saying PSG. PSV.
Because of your anti-Barcelona way now. That's why you're mentioning PSG because of your anti-Barcelona way.
But I think for me, this should be the easiest draw out of the four. I think. If possible, man away, Atletico Madrid should be able to. Because
really,
if you take a look at the game Atletico played against Inter Milan, you will know that was a masterclass of tactics between Simone Inzaghi and Diego Simeone. They started with the same similar formation, two sharp attackers up front, and at some point Simeone had to just change everything when he brought on Memphis Depay, and that was the game. That was where the game.
Riquelme, he brought in Riquelme, he brought in Depay, he brought in. I mean,
he should have done the same with bringing in Alexis Sanchez, but he delayed in bringing Sanchez, and before you know it, Atleti were already ahead, and I think that was where the game changed. So in terms of tactics and the kind of managers both teams do have, and the pedigree of both teams, Athletic will knock these people come out.
All right, guys, let's just round up this podcast by, who's going to go all the way. We have the bracket of, like I said, and we all know, we have the bracket of Bayern Munich and Arsenal. We have the bracket of Manchester City and then Real Madrid. From these four brackets, who is the strongest side? Wale?
Manchester City.
Seun?
Manchester City, unfortunately.
Pius?
Hard to say.
Pius?
Can you hear me?
Yes. From this bracket, the front bracket of Real Madrid and Bayern Munich, Arsenal, and then Manchester City, who is the strongest side? The guys in here, they said it's Manchester City all the way. What about you?
No, I wouldn't give it to Manchester City. I would not. I would say for the record holders of the UEFA Champions League, you can't underestimate the fact that they have won it more than any team in the world. They have probably one of the best managers in the world. They also have a complete side. In fact, from attack to defense, everywhere. If they are complete, I mean, on their day with full strength, I think they should be the best team.
So we have 2 against 1 here in the studio right here. All right, let's go to the other bracket. Dortmund, Atletico Madrid, PSG, Barcelona. Who is the strongest side in this bracket? Pius.
Well, I would also use the same yardstick. PSG have not won the Champions League. Those other guys too, just Dortmund and who else is even there? Dortmund and
Dortmund and Atletico Madrid.
Barcelona, PSG.
I think in terms of yes, for history and pedigree, you would say Barca, but on
but they're often right.
Form and the quality of what I have seen, the quality of play. I mean, the quality of the opposition also matters. If you look at the teams these guys have dispatched, Atletico dispatched Inter Milan, who are also favourites in this competition, while Barca dispatched Napoli, who were nowhere to be. In fact, I'm not sure they would have. I wonder how they even got to the round of 16. Anyways, I would say Atletico are the strongest in that bracket.
Right. So now you are now telling us, from your deduction, you are telling us we'll be having an Atletico Madrid and a Real Madrid final. From what I bring out, Wale, this four side, I mean the other brackets of Atletico Madrid, PSG, Dortmund, and Bayern. Who is the strongest side?
I disagree. I think Barcelona would be the strongest side.
Out of the four.
Out of the four.
So now you are telling us we'll be having a Manchester City and a Barcelona final.
We could be having that.
From what you just said, because
yes.
Barcelona and Manchester City.
For me.
Seun.
That one I walk over.
Me, I'll
Till then. Seun.
I had a unique choice, Inexperienced but a lot of talent. I think this is the season where they shine. I'll go with PSG. So PSG, Man City.
PSG, Man City for the final. Anyways, guys, this has been Gold Rush Football Podcast with Larry, and then you're watching Gold Rush Football TV. I've been having fun with my guys, Pius, Seun, and Wale. You stand a chance to win yourself a brand new PlayStation 5 by predicting the winner of the UEFA Champions League. Guys, we have to go. You got something to say, Pius, before you with your anti-Barcelona way and your Tuchel militant way?
Cupcake.
Pius?
Yeah, well, of course, it is not me being anti-Barca, but I mean, just stating it the way. To be honest with you, if you see, the only reason why we are still rating Barca is because they are in the La Liga. If you take Barca to the Premier League,
Thank you.
they will not finish.
All right, thank you. Right now, off your mic. Off your mic. Off your mic. Off your mic. Wale, it's been fun having you guys here on this podcast, and Seun, thank you very, very much for coming to this podcast. I think Wale will be having a break next week. We'll be having some. I mean, you deserve that break. Thanks for coming on back to back on this podcast. Thank you so much. Seun, it's good to have you back.
It's good to be back.
Let's go 2024.
Wow.
All right, guys. Thank you so much for watching Gold Rush Report Podcast with Larry. Stay tuned and please share with your friends. Drop your comments and don't stop with the predictions. Till we see you again next time. Have a lovely week ahead of you. Bye.